we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And now look at him go. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Winston, the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Right back to him on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Time to look at the defensive starters for the New York Giants. They come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator, because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the number 1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Wentz going to throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. A handoff to Barkley. There he goes again. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Green 80. Now Saquon Barkley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Bailey able to knock it through. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out.
Lefty, lefty.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And that's incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand. And
he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw, it's Bortles. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found the seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Bortles. This will be caught at about the 6. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Giants add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best torch, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in what you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week. You must have made a bunch of spectacular.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A big play there for Philly. 56 yards.
Hang in there now.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Working from the gun, Wentz. Got a man open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz with touchdown number 8 on the year. There the Eagles are back within a score. Elliott Good with a PAT. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
This one taken from the 7. Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Bortles going to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Here's Bortles to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggle. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this is recovered in the end zone by the defense. My goodness, what a late turn of events here. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. A good pick up there. 8 yards on the first down completion. On second down, here's Wentz. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards, but instead, offense out there. They're going for it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And that is incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
All right, call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Into the red zone. Wentz. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This one taken from the 7th. Oh, and now he bowls him over. On first down, Bortles. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Green 80. Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Shepard. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Green 80.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Shepard. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
The Giants on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Green 80.
Again, they'll throw with Bortles. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. 3rd touchdown pass of the game for Blake Bortles. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. 9 seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10.
Two jet.
On first down, Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll run it now out of the gun. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Flushed out right. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
Yeah, you don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him. The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Wentz. And he's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Kiki QT, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are back within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Bortles to throw on second down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Green 80. Green 80.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Fletcher Cox. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead and you're controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Green 80. Green 80.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Set. Green 80.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4.
Set. Green 80.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. It goes as a gain of 8 and it moves the chains. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
And I think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! Kiki QT with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
And this is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Bortles now to throw. And it's complete to Kelsey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players that somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. It's caught. Shepard. There goes Sterling Shepard. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have broken our tie as they take the lead. Barely got the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And an alley to run. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
11 more on that one and another first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. His throw caught at about the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and goal with this game still hanging in the balance.
81.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. In for the score. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. New York set to take the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down into those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get loaded on those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Green 80.
Back to throw, Bortles. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Green 80.
Now Bortles. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. That'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Shepard. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. To throw is Bortles. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Bortles to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the fourth.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
Elliott good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And that one drops to the ground, incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win.